Hello everybody, welcome to Discovery Reading. We're about to get started. We're going to be talking about the forest today and some of the plants and animals that are found therein. We've got two really good books today. I'll read the titles of them right now while everybody's logging on. And then when we get ready to read, we'll go through the official title of everything with our publisher and our author. The first book that we're going to be reading today is called The Reason for a Flower. Here, we'll switch this around so you guys can read it. For our older watchers too who can read. Let's see here. There we go. The Reason for a Flower. Awesome. And we'll put this back so we can read our comments. Great. The Reason for a Flower. And then the next book that we're going to be reading is called Quiet Night. And again, we'll just give everybody a couple seconds to log on so that they're with us. And we're standing here in front of our butterflies today, because they're going to be a big part of our first book, The Reason for a Flower. So again, we'll just give everybody a quick second to log on. And for those who are going to be joining for the first time, this is Discovery Reading. What we do is we're going to read a couple books, we're going to look at some animals, and we always have a theme. So again, the theme this week is forests and plants and animals of the forest. So in just a moment, we will get started. And this is at the Montiel Bean Life Science Museum. Okay, I think we'll get going. So this first book is called The Reason for a Flower. It is by Ruth Heller. And we're reading this with permission from Paper Star, which is a publishing company of Penguin Publishing. This is the cover. And this is a longer book, but it has beautiful illustrations. And it is both written and illustrated by Ruth Heller. Okay. Birds and bees. And bees. And these sip nectar from the flowers. And as they search for more and more pollen from the flowers, before it goes to the next one, they explore. Some pollen travels in the breeze without the help of birds or bees, and very often makes you sneeze. From an anther on a stamen to a stigma on a style, pollen grains must travel and stay a little while, and then you'll see the reason. So those are the names of the different parts of a flower. For each flower, even weeds, the reason for a flower is to manufacture seeds. They have a cover of one kind or another. Some grow inside a juicy fruit, and it's not odd to find them growing in a pod. The largest one's a coconut. Seeds travel far and wide. Some even like to hitch a ride upon a bike or on a shoe. Squirrels hide them and forget they do. Some have burrs that stick to furs and travel at a gallop. Seeds can settle anywhere. They find water and sun and air, and then grow roots and stems and leaves. Some seeds grow up to be trees. These grow where it's very dry. That's a cactus, right? And these grow where it's wet. These may not look like flowers, but they're the most important yet. Rice and barley, corn and wheat are cereals we need to eat. Millet and bamboo are a treat for animals who don't like meat. They are called herbivores. Do you recognize some of those animals? Some of them are in the museum. I see a hippo, an elephant, and a giraffe, and an elk. Would you believe these plants eat meat? And they are also called carnivorous. The largest flower ever found grows in the jungle near the ground, a parasite clinging tight to the roots of trees that feed it. It's 3 feet wide, or maybe 4, weighs 15 pounds and sometimes more, and has a nasty odor. Rafflesia is its name. This is also called the dead body flower. But here's a flower that owes its fame to its smelling very sweet, and scientists agree that magnolias seem to be from a prehistoric family. All flowers are angiosperm. That's an ancient Grecian term. Here are just a few products made from them for you. Here's a few examples. There's candy, there's cotton, it says cork, medicine, rope, rubber. Plants that have no flowers are fascinating too. This one has become a plum. Awesome. So again, this was The Reason for a Flower, which is written and illustrated by Ruth Heller. So I have some seeds to show you. First, I want to talk about butterflies just for a quick second because we have this awesome display here. One of the fun facts, if you come to the museum and you read the placard below, it tells us that butterfly wings are actually made from very, very thin and tiny overlapping scales. That's still one of the coolest things ever to me. This book said that one of the largest seeds is the coconut seed. So I have a coconut seed here for you so you can see how large it is. According to my research, this is actually the second largest seed. The largest is called a cocoa arum, which is the seed of a palm tree, and it can be about 12 inches long. This one is about 6 or 7, and they can be 40 pounds. Isn't that wild? That is a big seed for a very tall tree, but this is a coconut seed for a coconut tree, also very, very big. Very cool. So seeds can be so small like the ones in your garden, or they can be so big. This last book also talked about animals moving seeds around in the forest, and so I thought I'd bring an animal with me that is famous for doing so. If you know what type of bear this is, please put it in the comments. This is the only type of bear that is found in Utah. If you know what bear it is, comment below. I'm trying to give you guys a good angle. And so what will happen is, like the story said, there may be burrs, or there may be just sticky stuff, sticky sap on a seed, and it will cling on to this fur, and as the bear walks around, it will drop the seed and plant it into a new place. This can also happen as animals eat seeds and then digest them and leave them in a new place as well. So this is one of the ways that seeds are planted in the wild. Give you guys one more second to guess if you know what bear this is. It's our only bear that's found in Utah. And I'll give you a hint. It has to do with the color of this bear. This is the stereotypical color that I think we think of at this bear, but these bears can also be light brown and a few other shades of brown as well. So, yes, this is another pollinator. And do you know who else carries seeds? We do. Sometimes we see them and they're caught to our socks or to our pants. And we're also helping that forest ecosystem by moving those seeds around, or even just moving pollen from flower to flower as we hike. So this is awesome. So yeah, so this is a black bear. This is the head of a black bear. Get him really close so you can see his teeth are not real, but this is his fur and his eyes. Awesome. Okay, we will keep going. The next book that we are going to be reading is called Quiet Night. It is by Marilyn Singer and it's illustrated by John Manders. And we are reading with permission from their publisher, which is Houghton Mifflin Company. So again, this one is Quiet Night. Okay. The moon is big, the moon is bright. A fog barums on a quiet night. The trees are black, the grass is white. Two owls hoo hoo. A frog barums on a quiet night. The shadows swoop as birds take flight. Three geese honk honk, two owls hoo hoo, a frog barums on a quiet night. The lake is calm, no boats in sight. Four fish whap slap, three geese honk honk, two owls hoo hoo, a frog barums on a quiet night. Who's howling there in sheer delight? Five coyotes growl, yowl, four fish whap slap, three geese honk honk, two owls hoo hoo, and a frog barums on a quiet night. Somebody's got an appetite. Six raccoons churr, five coyotes row yow, four fish whap slap, three geese honk honk, two owls hoo hoo, and a frog barums on a quiet night. The tent walls twitch. A ghost? A sprite? Seven mice scritch scratch, six raccoons churr, five coyotes row yow, four fish whap slap, three geese honk honk, two owls hoo hoo, and a frog barums on a quiet night. What's whining here, and will it bite? Eight mosquitoes ee, seven mice scritch scratch, six raccoons churr, five coyotes row yow, four fish whap slap, three geese honk honk, two owls hoo hoo, a frog barums on a quiet night. The forest hums when bugs unite. Nine crickets chirp chirp, eight mosquitoes ee, seven mice scritch scratch, six raccoons chirr, five coyotes row yow, four fish whap slap, three geese honk honk, two owls woo hoo hoo, a frog barums on a quiet night. Then someone groans, turn on the light! 10 campers yawn, yawn. 9 crickets chirp chirp, 8 mosquitoes ee, 7 mice scritch scratch, 6 raccoons chirr, 5 coyotes row yowl, 4 fish whap slap, 3 geese honk honk, 2 owls hoo hoo, a frog barums on a quiet night. All that stirring, whirring, creeping, all that whining, all that peeping. Is there anybody sleeping? What a noisy night! Okay, that's quiet night. So these are some of our forest animals that we see, okay? I brought one of my favorites from this book. You have to give me 1 second so I can grab it. It's so cool, you guys. One of the animals in that book was an owl, so I have with me a great horned owl. See if you can see its face. It's called the great horned owl because on the top of its head, these 2 sides on each side, the feathers kind of peep out to kind of look like horns, but there aren't actually horns under there. This is just a pattern of the feathers. So again, this is the great horned owl. This owl is so cool because it has such a diverse population and also habitat that it lives in. It can live all over the United States and all 50 of the United States, as well as into Alaska and all the way down into South America. So when you look at their habitat on a map, it is almost all of North America. It is so cool. They are so well adapted to be just about anywhere. And they are a very big owl. This owl is about 1 foot tall. including his tail. So this is one of the animals that's found in the forest. This is totally one that you could definitely see in Utah if you're looking really closely, maybe on a quiet night like in the book. They do have amazing camouflage. I'll flip this one around so you can see. It's almost camouflaging into our butterflies. These are awesome colors to be camouflaging into the wood of a forest. It might be a little bit easier to see them in the winter if they were here, if they were not a migrating bird. But this is the perfect camouflage for any of the woods here in Utah. They have all their colors are not this, all the feathers on their backs are not the same color. There's some light browns, dark browns, some whites. And so these animals are eating small rodents in the forest. So they are carnivorous, but they do also eat some plants. This is a great horned owl. This owl is so, so cool, you guys. We're getting really close so you can kind of see his face a little bit. There we go. Cool. We do have one live animal that we brought today for you guys to see. And although this animal is not found here in the forest in Utah, it is a really good example of a tree snake. This is a ball python. This is Monty. And he's sitting exactly as he would as if he was on a branch in the forest, just cuddled up, just like this. These are constricting snakes, but as you can see, Monty's totally relaxed and totally just balanced on my arm. Because again, they're tree snakes. If you have a ball python as a pet, you know that they love to just sit on a branch just like this. It makes me a little nervous because he's a little heavy, but he's totally balanced on his own. He knows what he's doing. Monty is one of our oldest animals here at the museum. Monty's about 30 years old. Bring close so you guys can see Monty's face. Yeah, and Monty also has that awesome pattern, just like the great horned owl. You can see it's totally designed to have awesome camouflage. There's different shades of brown, different shades of black. And these patterns are very intimidating. Oh, he's gonna peek over my hand to see you guys again. They could be branches crossing over one another. There's also a lot of skin patterns in nature or covering patterns in nature where there are large holes that are very intimidating or open circles. They could look like eyes as well to be intimidating to their fellow prey. Monty's gonna look at himself. He never gets to do that. Says, hello everybody. If anybody has any questions about Monty, you're welcome to put them in the chat. You can also see that the underside of Monty is lighter. Awesome. Dan asks, how often does he shed his skin? There isn't really a set amount of time for them to shed their skin. Sometimes they shed during weather changes. Like I feel like when winter came in Provo, almost all the snakes were shedding all at the same time. There isn't like a designated time like, oh, they shed every 4 weeks on the day or anything like that. So it's pretty variant. Pretty variant, good question. But you can know that they are shedding because when they're shedding, obviously you'll see their skin coming off and their eyes will be completely clouded gray. And they're also very sensitive about their skin when they're shedding. Just like us, it's kind of like when we get a sunburn and our skin peels off. Good question, thanks. If there aren't too many more questions, you can feel free to add some more when you watch this video later. We have tons of people. We wanted to thank everybody who's been watching our videos. Although everyone is not watching with us live, we know that you're watching with us and we appreciate it. We also appreciate your patience as we come through and answer your comments that you comment when we're not live. We're seeing them and we're getting back to you. So we're grateful for that. Feel free to comment more and let us know what you want to know about, what you want to read about, and I will see you guys on Tuesday. Tune in tomorrow on Friday at 11 for a Life Science Live. It's going to be awesome. So we'll bring Monty up really close to say goodbye to you guys, but I will see you guys on Tuesday. Have an awesome weekend and tune in back with us tomorrow at 11.